Namaste everyone. Welcome to the class 2 of the Yoga Pandit teacher training course. So today we are going to learn about Sage Patanjali. Why do we need to learn about Sage Patanjali? It is very important to learn about him because he's the one who kind of brought the whole literature of yoga under one roof. And he was the one who kind of gave a guidance for all the people who want to study yoga. So let us look at the meaning of the name Patanjali. Pata means to fall and Anjali means into the palms. So Patanjali means a baby who fell into the palms. So there is an interesting story on how Patanjali came onto the earth. So like many tales about the world's spiritual heroes, the story of Patanjali's birth also assumes certain mythical dimensions. So one version relates to that in order to teach yoga on the earth, he fell from the heaven in the form of a little snake into the upturned palms or gesture known as Anjali of his virgin mother Gonika, who herself was a very powerful yogini. Here he is regarded as incarnation of thousand-headed serpent king named Reminder or Sesha or Endless or Ananta, whose coils are said to support the god Vishnu. Okay, so you all know that Vishnu lies down on a serpent which is coiled, which is his bed. So Patanjali is believed to be the incarnation of that same Ananta. So Patanjali is considered as a father of modern yoga and the author of celebrated text Yoga Sutras. Patanjali was an enlightened being and also manifestation of Lord Adisesha. So there is an interesting story. Okay. So you have to forgive my drawing. So you all know that Vishnu lies down on a coiled bed of snake. Okay, who is also called as Adisesha. Okay, so when Vishnu is lying down on the bed, um, Adisesha is actually his bed, and on is the one of the stories that on his head is earth. Okay, then you have the Garuda here. Why Garuda will be here? Because he is the vehicle of Vishnu. Okay, whenever Vishnu wants to go out, the vehicle should obviously be ready. Okay, and an interesting point here is that the Adisesha and Garuda, which is like a eagle, mostly eagle only, I think, not vulture. They are enemies to each other. Okay, so Adisesha is the bed on which Vishnu rests, and rested on his head is Mother Earth. Garuda is the vehicle on which Vishnu travels everywhere. In the presence of Garuda, who is the enemy of Adisesha or Ananta, he has to be very comfortable to make the bed comfortable for Vishnu. He cannot stiffen his body as Vishnu will start feeling uncomfortable and also has to hold his foot gracefully without allowing the earth to roll down. So, when the both enemies are facing each other, obviously Garuda has a choice to do or show some of his discomfort, but Adisesha doesn't have that luxury. So he has to, even in the presence of his enemy, he has to keep himself comfortable to see that Vishnu is relaxed. So, under such circumstances, Lord Vishnu felt that it was the right time for Adisesha to take the avatar of Patanjali on earth and teach yoga to human beings. Lord Vishnu was well aware that humans are flourishing otherwise, but for the psychological issues that need to be addressed. Okay, now we all see we all have money, we have car, we have a house, but we are not at all happy. All of us have so many problems. Okay. Now, another interesting thing that we need to understand is the book written by Patanjali, which is called as Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Okay. So this Yoga Sutras text contains 4 chapters. I will go about this Yoga Sutras text a bit in superficial level because I have done different videos on Patanjali Yoga Sutras. If any one of you is interested, I can forward them to you. But as of now, we will learn at a very superficial level. So Yoga Sutras of Patanjali is a key text that helps to understand the different nuances of human existence. What are the different problems faced by the humans? What and who are the causes of it? This is an important text followed by most of the yoga schools. Patanjali was the founder of yoga philosophy. Out of the 195 sutras, only three sutras have been dedicated to asana. One important aspect here we need to observe is that out of the 195 sutras, in the four chapters, only three sutras are dedicated to asana. But nowadays, we see that most of the yoga schools are propagating only asanas. They are not at all focusing on the pranayama and meditation. So if you look at the Yoga Sutras text, the first chapter is called as the Samadhi Pada. It has 51 sutras. It is like being in a state of yoga. This chapter defines the state of yoga and the mind, offers the means to reach this state, obstacles and solutions for the same. It also presents the different states of samadhi. Samadhi means levels of meditation and the immense possibility in the state of yoga. Okay, this is like a little serious chapter. So easier chapter is the second one. Usually, sometimes some teachers they teach the second chapter and then teach the first chapter. Okay. The second chapter is the Sadhana Pada, which has 55 sutras, the doing to reach the state of yoga. So, in the Samadhi Pada, he explains what are the various levels of meditation. And in the second chapter, he explains what are the ways that you can reach the state one, where you can meditate. Okay. Presents the tools to reach the state of yoga, insists on practice and discipline, and the most essential message, the spirit of action or Kriya Yoga. The first five parts of the Eightfold Path is presented in Sadhanapada. Relationship between the matter and consciousness, borrowed from Sankhya philosophy, is also dealt with in this chapter. So, Sankhya philosophy talks about Purusha and Prakriti. How, when Prakriti comes in contact with Purusha, the whole creation happens. It also mentions about the Ashtanga Yoga Sadhana. Ashtanga Yoga Sadhana is Yama, Niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, which we will be learning in the future classes. Coming to the third chapter, it is the Vibhuti Pada, which has 56 sutras. This chapter presents extraordinary possibilities and powers one can achieve with regular practice of yoga. Vibhuti means special, highly refined mind, body, and senses, and their extraordinary powers. At the same time, it comes with a strong warning that the aspirant may get stuck or distracted by these powers and deviate from the original goal of emancipation from suffering. If one gets carried away by the Vibhutis, they would face a downfall and have to start their practice all over again. Okay, it's very, very important. When we are doing the yoga practice regularly and dedicatedly, there are certain powers that we may get which may mislead us. So we should not get carried away by it. The fourth chapter is Kaivalya Pada. It has 34 sutras. It is all about detaching from the result, go beyond these powers through detachment and discriminative knowledge. Freedom from suffering happens, and we can achieve Kaivalya, a state of liberation. Okay. So these are the two things. We understood the birth story of Patanjali. Also, we understood about the Yoga Sutras text. So, those who are interested in learning these Yoga Sutras, I have done separate videos on them. I have taught the sutras in the order they need to be learned. I can always give it to you if you are interested. Thank you. See you in the next session.